You know, you should bring your gun everywhere, but there are some parameters that you can go by that if you don't feel comfortable bringing your gun everywhere, should be what you live by for if you choose to bring it or not. How's it going, everybody, and welcome to the Hopeful Homestead. My name is Chad, and in this series of videos that I like to call Coffee Talk, I sit out here in my little tiny cabin on wheels and chat with all the husbands and dads out there about all the difficult things in life. And recently we've been talking a lot about firearms and talking about carrying your guns. And now to most of you, and to me as well, we figure you carry your gun all the time. And that's probably the wisest thing to do in today's world. You should just always be carrying at least something. But I get it, if some people just don't want to carry all the time, but they have a gun and they feel like maybe they would like to carry sometimes and maybe sometimes they just don't feel comfortable doing it. I put together a little list that'll help you decide whether or not it's imperative that you bring your gun to a particular place or time or event. And the first thing on the list is whether or not this location you're going to will be crowded. If it's going to be a very crowded event or location, then that is a parameter that, in my opinion, means you should be bringing your firearm. You should be bringing your gun because if it's a big crowd, that just statistically increases the odds of someone there being a bad actor and someone coming to an event like that because they know there'll be a lot of people there and it's an opportunity for evil to be able to do its thing in a bigger manner. So if it's going to be a big crowd, bring your gun. And the second thing on the list is this event, if it is an event, is it something that has been advertised for a long time, with the date and location and time being broadcasted for an extended period of time leading up to the actual day of the event. If that is something that is happening, then someone who's looking to do wrong in the world, looking to harm people, that's going to be an event that they're going to have known about for a long time and be able to plan for and plan out an exit route. So it's going to be a much more likely scenario for them to be able to feel confident heading into that they'll be able to escape from if it's something that's been made well known, to where they could actually plan the whole attack out. So if it's something that's been advertised a lot recently, then you should be probably bringing your gun to that as well. And third on the list here, is this place or event something associated with anything controversial or religious? Obviously, if it's a church or if it's a religious event, a religious holiday that's taking place and being celebrated outside in a public manner, all of those things are obvious to me in that evil, obviously, as men of faith, we know the true intent of evil is to take down anybody who is proclaiming the name of the Lord. So if it's a scenario where that's being centered around that, then absolutely bring your firearm, because that's a scenario where there'll be a lot of people gathered to celebrate a controversial or religious subject that in today's world, there's clearly a lot of bad actors willing to do something about, because just look at the news of the past year. That's definitely a scenario where you need to bring your gun. Another parameter here for the next item on the list is, will there be armed security at this event? Will it be an event with a security checkpoint at the entry point, at all entry points? If it's an inside event or if it's a walled off, fenced in event, will it be impossible for someone to get in with a firearm? If that's the case, like when I'm taking my family to a theme park like Universal up in Orlando, that's a pretty heavily fortified entrance point to the park where you're not getting in there with a firearm. So unless you're willing to die trying, because security, there's armed security protecting the gates to get in. So in situations like that, you can feel comfortable not bringing your firearm into the actual event, because obviously there's armed guards and police there protecting everybody and preventing anyone from getting in that is trying to do wrong. Now, I would still bring your firearm, keep it with you in your car while you're traveling to the event, and then keep it locked in the glove box while you're going into the event, so you still have a weapon to flee to in the event something does go wrong and you get to your vehicle. You have a way to protect yourself and your family from your vehicle while you're fleeing home. Those parameters can be a good basis to help you decide if you should bring your firearm. If you don't feel comfortable bringing it around all the time or carrying it all the time, I highly recommend that you do, and that you just get used to it, because you'll need it at some point when you don't have it, and that's you'll regret that big time. But all right, that's been another episode of Coffee Talk. Again, I'm Chad, and this has been the Hopeful Homestead. There's another video up in the corner of this if you want to stick around for more, talking about why it's important as a husband and father to carry a firearm all the time. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.